living today? I hope you're doing a little bit better than my baby hairs right now. If you've been watching this channel for literally any amount of time, then you know I'm a huge advocate for pre-loved bags. And not only because it's so great for the environment, so sustainable, but it's pretty awesome for your wallet most of the time too. I've done a whole video, I'll link that here, on all the pros of buying pre-loved and why I think it's super important. But today's video, we're gonna focus on 4 pre-loved sites that I have frequented. It's only 4. I'm obviously not gonna talk about sites that I haven't used before, but you guys know there's tons of pre-loved sites out there. So let's just start from the bottom to the top. So site number 4, eBay. This is no surprise here. If you guys have ever thought about buying pre-loved, then you've obviously thought to look from eBay. The last purchase I made from eBay was my toy Lulu bag. Again, I've done multiple videos on this. I'll link the review here. That goes really into depth about how I found my eBay seller and how I saved, I think it was like 33% on this bag, and it was essentially new. There are obviously pros and cons to each of these pre-loved sites, okay? With eBay, let's just start from the cons. You really don't know who you're buying from. I mean, there are of course people that are verified. I think my #1 tip here is to always look at people's reviews, look at what else they're selling, and just look what people have said about them in the last 6 months, you know? Are they saying that they're selling items that are just as described? Does anyone have any issues? I personally don't buy from anybody that doesn't have at least a 97% positive rate, and that's just me. You always run the risk when you buy from eBay of not buying an authenticated item, even though they do have that authentication guaranteed policy that you can send back if the item isn't as described. I'd always get my items authenticated anyway. I would say eBay is probably the riskiest pre-loved site. On the other hand, because these are normally, most of the time, personal sellers, you usually get the best deals on eBay, and that's because you take the biggest risk on eBay too. So these are usually just regular people trying to sell their pre-loved luxury things, and they don't want to go through a pre-loved site like the 3 I'll talk about next, simply because, listen, they don't want to sell their items and then have this third party take a huge cut. So just always keep that in mind. You can definitely find the best deals on eBay, but you're also running probably the biggest risk on eBay. Okay, pre-loved site number 2. This one is gonna be my probably like 3rd favorite, and this is the RealReal. I think there's a lot of pros that go along with the RealReal too. I've heard some horror stories of some people buying inauthentic pieces from the RealReal. That's not my experience. I've bought a number of pieces from the RealReal, and I think that the RealReal tends to be pricier than other pre-loved sites. I don't really know why, but it's true. I feel like the RealReal doesn't usually have the best deals, although they do run huge campaigns like every other week where they'll give you basically like, you know, $500 back if you purchase $2,000, and that rate will apply all the way down. I personally these days never buy from the RealReal unless they're running one of those huge promotions. I think that the bags for me have always been authentic. I've always had a really good experience. They've actually sent me, once I bought a Fendi bag from there and they sent me it broken, I called them, said items not as described, and they just gave me my money back. I sent it back and they took care of it immediately. So I think that they have really great customer service. If you live in New York or LA, you can go visit these stores in person. When I lived in New York, in East Village, I would go visit the Soho location all the time. I've sold a few pieces through the Soho location too. Some like high street apparel, like I think I sold a few Yeezys through there. This video is gonna be predominantly from the buyer's point of view, but just from the seller's point of view, like I said, whenever you sell, not just through the RealReal, but literally any third-party pre-loved site, you're going to run into basically these pre-loved sites taking 60 to like 30%, which is huge, but at least you kind of know that it's off your hands and you don't have to worry about it. So all in all, pros of the RealReal: authentic items, great customer service. Cons are, it's probably one of the more pricier pre-loved sites in my experience. Okay, pre-loved site number 2, and this one I think is probably, this is my 2nd favorite one, okay? I talk about this site a lot, and I'm sure if you guys know anything about the pre-loved market or anything about luxury bags, you know about Fashionfile. I think Fashionfile to me is probably the best, like a US-based, American-based pre-loved site. They're based in California. I've never been to any of their stores in person. I've bought a few pieces from there, always have great customer service, always have authentic items, and to me, I think their prices beat out other pre-loved sites most of the time, especially with Chanel for some reason. I feel like they have really good prices on Chanel, and I feel like they just get straight to the point. Another pro with Fashionfile is that I don't know, maybe every like few weeks that an item is on the shelf, you know, we'll say, they discount the item by 5%. So if you really love something, I like to wait it out. Of course, you run the risk of not getting it, but just waiting it out and watching that item drop 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%, you know, all the way down to final sale. I just think that they have the best prices, although they will still be more expensive than just somebody selling their stuff on eBay or Grail or Mercari or Poshmark. You guys get the gist. Pre-love site number 1 for your girl. It's no surprise if you've been watching my channel because I talk about them all the time. I've gotten a number of pieces from here. I've gotten my Louis Vuitton key clay. I'll link that here. I've gotten that from there. I've gotten my Louis Vuitton shoulder bag. I'll link that here too. All for amazingly great deals. And this is none other than DCT Vintage Japan. This is a Japanese consignment store, and I've always had really great experiences here. I would say the only con about DCT Vintage is they don't always have like a really robust selection, right? They don't have as big of a selection as Fashionfile or the RealReal or obviously eBay, but the things that they do have are always in great condition. From my experience, I've always found through DCT Vintage that when I get something, it always ends up being in better condition than what they said. So to me, that is a huge win. They always have really great prices, like really fair, really reasonable prices. That's a win number 2. Number 3, I think a lot of the times I somehow end up getting like free international shipping, and it literally comes way earlier than they ever say. So that's definitely a win too. I just love DCT Vintage. You guys know I can't talk enough good about them, and their items of course are always authentic. I think it's literally like a crime in Japan to sell anything inauthentic when you're saying that it's authentic, and so Japanese consignment stores a lot of the time ends up being priced really efficiently, shipped really efficiently, and always authentic, and to me that's a win across the board. I love DCT Vintage, and no, this is not sponsored. I wish. DCT Vintage, if you're watching, sponsor your girl. You know I got you. I can't say enough good about them. I've just had such great experiences, and if you guys are looking to dip your toe in the pre-love pool for the very first time and you're really nervous, you don't know what route to go, eBay and these pre-love stores, I would check out DCT Vintage and just see if what you're looking for is on the site and go that route. But otherwise, the RealReal and Fashionfile, I think, are other really great trusted sites to start looking at. I know that there's a plethora of pre-love sites, and I'm sure I have not discovered them all for myself, so leave a comment down below and let me know, what is your favorite pre-love site? Like, what am I sleeping on? What am I sleeping on that I need to start taking advantage of? Let your girl know down below. And thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I love spending some time with you. I hope you like spending some time with me. Let me know in the comments also if you'd like this more vlog style video, if you want to see more like direct to camera action, let me know. And until the next one, I'll see you in the next one.